Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Saturday, May the 3rd, 2025. Our reading today is just a single verse. It is verse 5 of 1 John chapter 5, 1 John 5, verse 5. Who is it that overcomes the world? Only he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. Interesting thing is that word overcomes. In Greek, it is nikao, and it means to conquer. In fact, some translations, including the New Revised Standard Version, uses the word conquers. But overcome has less of a victory winning sort of a thing as being able to again overcome, to be able to endure and persevere. And there's many stories of people who have overcome different things in life. Walt Davis was totally paralyzed by polio when he was 9 years old, but he did not give up. He later became the Olympic high jump champion in 1952, so he overcame that serious illness. Lou Gehrig was such a clumsy ball player that the kids in his neighborhood wouldn't even let him play, but he was committed. Eventually, his name was entered into the Baseball's Hall of Fame as the great Yankee first baseman. Woodrow Wilson couldn't read until he was 10 years old, but he was a committed person. He became the 28th President of the United States. How about this one? At the age of 7, he had to go to work to support his family. At 9, his mother died. At 22, he lost his job as a store clerk. 23, he went into debt, became a partner in a small store. 26, his partner died, leaving him a huge debt. By the age of 35, he had been defeated twice while running for a seat in Congress. At the age of 37, he won the election, but at 39, he lost his re-election bid. 41, his 4-year-old son died. At 42, he was rejected for a land officer role. At 45, he ran for the Senate and lost. 47, he was defeated for the nomination for vice president. At 49, he ran for the Senate again and lost again. And at the age, finally, of 51, he was elected President of the United States. His name, Abraham Lincoln. Somebody did a study of 300 highly successful people like FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Helen Keller, Winston Churchill, Albert Schweitzer, Mahatma Gandhi, Albert Einstein. It revealed that 1/4 of them had handicaps to overcome, such as blindness, deafness, or crippled limbs. 3/4 had either been born in poverty, came from broken homes, or at least came from exceedingly tense, disturbed situations. So these are all stories of people who had to overcome some serious things. Jerry Kramer was a football player, but again, he had overcome a lot of things while holding an axe overhead. It slipped and cut a cleft into his chin. When he was a sophomore in high school, he backed into an electric lathe. When he was 17, he had an accident with a double-barreled shotgun. Both barrels went off, and the load smashed into his right forearm. Chipped a vertebrae in his neck, had to have an operation. Suffered a detached retina, broke his ankle. A non-malignant growth the size of a grapefruit was removed from near his stomach. Holes developed in his intestines caused by a 4-inch sliver of wood that had been in him for 12 years. Again, his name was Jerry Kramer. He overcame all of these adversities to play offensive guard on the Green Bay Packers football team in the 1960s. He was on that 65 team that won the NFL title in the first Super Bowl and won again the following year. To overcome means to go beyond, to get through, persevere things. Someone once said, although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. There's also a story told about a 3rd century man who was anticipating death and penned these final words to a friend. "It's a bad world, an incredibly bad world," he wrote, "but I have discovered in the midst of it a quiet and holy people who have learned a great secret. They have found a joy which is 1,000 times better than any pleasure of our sinful life. They are despised and persecuted, but they care not. They are masters of their souls. They've overcome the world. These people are Christians, and I am one of them." Overcoming the world. Sidney Ram writes about how in our own day, um, many people sense a lack of security, um, in spite of all the advantages that we have in our country. You would think we would be happy and fulfilled, but in many cases we aren't. Young people in high school and college want to know what to do with their life, what occupations to plan for, whom to marry. We all want the government to do as much as possible to ease the tensions and problems of life. What we need, he writes, is a sense of overcoming. That doesn't mean that always having it easy or never having problems, but it does mean being able to live in this world without letting it overcome you. The Bible gives us a clear promise that faith in Christ equips us for life in this world. Our lack of assurance or security could well be due to a lack of faith in him. Christians, he writes, are not people with a magic wand for life's ills. They are, or ought to be, the most realistic folks there are. They know the problem. The world presents all kinds of possibilities for ill, but they, Christians, possess a strategy to counter this. They know that a life dedicated to Christ, who overcame sin, death, and the world, shares his power and his peace with all of us. Overcoming the world. Who is it that overcomes the world, said 1 John? Only he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God. Well, with that, we finish another week of daily devotions. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you can be with us for worship tomorrow. Again, 9 and 11, traditional at 9, contemporary at 11, both live stream, both recorded to watch during the week if you don't have an opportunity to be with us online or in person tomorrow. And until Tuesday, take care, and we'll see you then. Bye.